All right, can I do it? Can Fibonacci do it? Of course he can. I'm ready to talk about photography, baby. Look at this. You know her? You will after this fucking video. You're like, seriously, don't say fucking like to people like that. It's like, hurts their feelings. Like sometimes like people like, you know, sometimes what's up? Look at that. Vivian Maier, a photographer. Look at that. I guess that's like what, a self-portrait? Finding Vivian Maier. There's a documentary out there, and you know, I think, what was it, Mark Twain? He said there's nothing worse than a good example. Can you imagine being so chilled out in New York City that you're just like chilling in your car, Vivian Maier walks by, boom! You are immortalized. Now you're a Fibonacci. You're like, are you what? Are you like, I thought you were like, oh, I get it. Fibonacci holla. Boom. There's nothing worse than a good example, and there's few things that I like more than black and white photography and of course documentaries. And look at that. That's just a regular street photographer right there. That's amazing work right there. Holy shit. You know, in the photography world, there's this concept or idea of letting your essence or to present yourself. And I was watching a documentary about another photographer, and that other photographer, who I'll talk about in just a second, Dorothea Lange, talks about a good photographer allows that person to present themselves and all their epicness and misery, and a good photographer is just simply there and boom, takes the picture. Dorothea Lange, just watched her documentary. If you're interested in the Enneagram, Dorothea Lange is a great example of a 9 energies artist. We don't think of 9 energy as an artist. We typically prejudicially believe that artists are 4s. Or Dorothea Lange. Holy shit. Then there's my work, which is amazing. You want to see it? I'll show you my work. You're like, Fibonacci, everything you do is amazing. Your self-portrait's awesome. About the tunnel, I love that one. I want to retweet it. In fact, I want to drop you PayPal. How do you do it? We'll just go to Americana. Oh, go to PayPal, put it in Americana417@gmail.com. You're like, Fibonacci, love your photography. You're not quite up to Dorothea Lange or Vivian Maier, but I like how you make fun of Metallica. Oh, you want to see some of my work? I'll show you this. This is some of my work. Behold, God is my helper and ally. The Lord is my upholder and is with him, uphold my life. You ever get really pissed off at somebody? You like, destroy their schemes, confuse their tongues, or just save me. Or maybe you're just in one of those like, Fibonacci. God is my helper and ally. The Lord is my upholder and is with him who uphold my life. That's a Zuni fetish. That right there. Google that. It's an Indian artifact. Those lines are called spirit lines. And it's believed in the Hopi tradition Well, don't get me on Fibonacci retracements and day trading stuff, and I can't even begin to answer how the ancient Indian tribe has a economic theory. You're like, did you know that Schwartzman has the 40% upside because his business is not tied to Dodd-Frank, and he can just buy himself out of obligations, and anybody can have a 40% upside when you can just buy your own regulators, like Bernie Madoff. Okay, wait, fuck. Back to my photography. Look at this. Holy shit. Were you gonna say boom? You're like, oh, holy shit, John. That's almost like Vivian Maier. That's almost Annie Liebowitz. Like, can you tell the difference? Like, there's Annie Liebowitz. I mean, here's Annie Liebowitz. And this is Fibonacci. Even this is beautiful black and white photography. In fact, if you know anybody out there who knows Dana White, they're like, dude, Fibonacci can totally be the photographer for the Dana White UFC organization. Holy shit. Maybe I could even do a podcast. You're like Joe Rogan. Again, just look at the artistry of the photography. Two fighters. Boom. And then if you want to get philosophical, you're like, you know, I'll talk about Emmett Till in another time and how sometimes, look at this. Boom. Visit Durango, baby. Beautiful, beautiful photography. Took that off. Now I'll show you some of my work. You're like, dude, how is it that you're not hired by every person in the world? Here's mine. That's a Fibonacci right there. Boom. Oh, by the way, it's real important. Support your local artist. Just drop me some PayPal. Just go to PayPal, put Americana417@gmail.com, and then you're like, boom. It's just me taking a picture of the word. Verse 17, triumph over opposition is the heritage of the Lord. Oh yeah, this is me, self-portrait, boom. I was trying to take a picture of something and then my lens flipped and I was like, boom. This is one of my favorite pictures that I've taken. Of course, I'm gonna compliment my own shit. By the way, if you would like me to frame that for you, let me know. I would love to sell my photography. It's out there skiing out there in Purgatory. There's just something about a snowplow that I like. So if you've ever skied Purgatory, Colorado, maybe you love Durango like I love it. You like to have that on your desk or on a picture. You want a Fibonacci. I think what, $200, $250, throw $300, I'll frame it. This is the old steaming bean. It's my picture. You'll notice somebody's walking past, almost looks like an angel, a real person, and then the picture. Durango, Colorado, steaming bean. And then even pictures like this. My old basketball goal. You know, I've been applying for different jobs and mostly trader jobs in the Bay Area. Now that's Durango Bridge, not the Bay Bridge, not the Golden Gate. Easter Durango, baby. Street photography. But I've been also kind of, my love of photography, my love of basketball. There's my picture. That's a train, and beautiful. Of course. Street photography, Durango. Close out. Hope you've enjoyed this little trip down picture lane. There's nothing worse than a good example. And I saw some of Dorothea's work last night on a documentary. It's like, man, I love photography. You guys be good. Little meditation, Fibonacci. Everybody has a grandma like this. I had mine. What was your grandma's name? Email me your thoughts, your questions, Americana417@gmail.com. Tell me what your grandma's name was. Mine was Frances Moselle. This is Dorothea Lange's somebody. It says Migrant Mother is one of the most recognized images of all time. Grapes of Wrath, the depression. I promise you, you'll never look at the depression the same way just because of Dorothea Lange. You guys be good.